Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Illfoominati. My name is Ryan Fu, and I am live here in the city of Denver, Colorado. It's a beautiful day. It was a little bit cold and cloudy yesterday, but it was beautiful today, so I'm happy, but not too hot. We got Kelsey Newlin here with us. How you doing, Kelsey?
I'm tired, but really good. I enjoyed my day yesterday. Yeah? The beautiful day you're talking about. I was diving deep in that day.
Good. Yeah, why are you tired?
I played Westward Music Showcase yesterday with Sorrells.
Damn right.
It was a great show. I was really proud of his performance.
Good.
And then afterwards, I went over to Bar Standard and played on the roof for a little bit. A little event there.
You had 2 sets during the actual showcase, or?
Yeah, it was. I mean, in the same time period, it was 30 minutes after I played at City Hall. So it was an exhausting day, but a really fun one.
Indeed,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. And we are also sitting here with Sampson. How you doing, Sampson?
Good. I'm very, very well. I'm a little tired as well. I had a good night as well.
Yes.
Yeah, feeling it, but. Happy to be here.
I am also tired. It seems like everyone had a pretty busy day yesterday. I was hosting the La Rumba stage at the showcase as well, so it was very fun. Just so our engineers know back there, we can hear your microphone. It is on. Nice. That was great.
I don't think it was live.
It was. Yeah, I don't think the audience.
That's just for us.
Anyway. The showcase was great. I had a lot of love for Westward. It really occurred to me yesterday that it's important that Westward is creating all this hype around local artists and providing stages for us to do stuff. That's it's not perfect, but it's no one else is doing it.
Yeah, the local part is important to me. I think they could be a little bit better and more seasoned. I mean, they have some, people that know what they're talking about, and we only have chunks of genres, and it seems like people are sometimes put into categories that they don't really fit, so maybe their audience could be a little bit better. So that's one thing, but I really like intermingling with, especially acts that I'm not usually around, and that makes it really fun. You can just get a whole different side. It's good. Yeah,
it was a beautiful day. I got to bounce around in between my little hosting gigs and see different sets. Kayla Marquis played. Yeah. Who all played on your stage?
Kayla, Yasi, Sorrells.
I saw Wheelchair Sports Camp also played, right?
Yes. They're great.
Yeah, I love them. I love Caitlin.
Yeah, shout out to Caitlin.
Yeah.
We get her in here.
Yeah. Caitlin is great. She's
got some wild shit to say, man.
Yeah, she's a gangster, man.
Yeah.
She was touring with B. Dolan last summer, and he's a real B. Dolan.
I'm so uncultured.
He's not local, but he's a super interesting dude. Like, he raps super conscious, like conspiracy stuff too, which I love. Just truth. Like, fuck them all.
I wish I could think like that or express myself in that way. I am totally into conspiracies, but I can't creatively
okay, let's dive into it real quick. What are some conspiracies you entertain? Just ones you find interesting. It doesn't have to say anything about.
I think the most interesting, and I think close to my experience, my life experience, is the 9/11 conspiracy. Just because it was the day that my generation won't forget, and so now I see it, and there's so many angles that I still I find I would entertain a little bit more than the truth. The truth.
I think that's one of the most doubted amongst the modern myths is the 9/11 thing. It's a pretty popular conspiracy, right?
I would think so, yeah. It was my major awakening.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that and the combination of, they were like, oh, well, nobody from Afghanistan did it, so we need to go to Afghanistan. And then tomorrow they went to Afghanistan, and I thought, wait, don't you need time to plan these kinds of things? How come they're already ready already?
Yeah, with the whole
that was my thing. It's they're already ready already. So that's weird. Yeah. And it turned out they'd been already ready for quite some time. So that was no accident.
Waiting for an opportunity to do something. Yeah, but that's okay. I think that regardless of whether or not there was a plane crash or how the conspiracy actually goes down, a lot of people can see the 9/11 moment as a time where our government put some real fear-mongering into play. And that the media, as a tool to inform us, can inform us with fear. And we saw it do that in a way that was, I think,
a total ratcheting.
Yeah, but then Zeitgeist comes and wrecks it all.
Oh boy, well, that's great. Well, you are out and about in the Denver scene. You did the showcase.
Yeah.
What else do you do in Denver? You DJ? What else do you do?
I DJ. I have been doing a lot of digital art lately.
Nice.
I recently collabed with a guy named Euron who lives in Paris. I just like inboxed him and I was like, hey, like we use a lot of the same palette. Like our feel is kind of the same. So we collabed on a little piece, and I really like it. It ended up being pretty dope. You guys can check it out. It's on my Instagram.
Definitely, we'll make sure it gets posted with some of the videos in the descriptions.
Cool.
Get all of the people that you like and the people that you're working with together, and post them on your stuff, because we're going to be sending people your way if we can.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I just really like creative. Like I would much rather spend time with people in a creative space. I have a really hard time talking about nothing. Like if it doesn't have some kind of direction, then I'm really bad. I'm bad at it. But
I'm not really sure what small talk is. Like when it happens in front of me, I can only identify it by being bad.
Yeah, I can't do it. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Well, it's anything of like relatively zero consequence.
That's right.
You know, like someone says, "How's the weather?" and you're like, "What does that matter?"
Yeah.
I mean, you can talk about the weather in a way that's not shitty, though.
I know.
Like,
well, you can say it's nice or, you know, it's remarkable, but that's still like... it was for like, isn't it remarkably nice today? Yeah, but like that's...
Yeah.
But you could also just walk straight up to someone and be like, what was the most difficult thing you did yesterday? What was the most difficult thing you did yesterday? Like, what was the most challenging? What was the like...
Parking downtown.
There you go. See, that's not small talk.
downtown.
No, but then we can really get into like the issues. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, I had to like walk like 5 blocks and like waste your time, when I could say it was difficult to park. You know, then let's move on. Exactly. Like you don't need to talk like so much about.
When was your set?
Details. We played at 2:30, and then
it was packed by then, so
it was really. I love the roof back at City Hall.
Yeah,
they should
but
throw more
it
stuff
fucks
in.
the sound system up. It's so hard. I was just talking to someone else about this. Sorry, I moved the microphone. I was just talking to someone else about that the other day. That City Hall. I love the venue, beautiful space. Sometimes it's really hard to hear the people properly.
Yeah,
depending on where you are in the place too. It's not meant to be a venue for sound.
Yeah, or they would have to set it up a lot different. I mean,
they need more speakers than the ones in the front.
I
mean, that's essentially what it comes down to.
Those are called delay stacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you could help them.
No, that's not my job.
Oh.
It's not my job.
I know that guy though.
Yeah.
Well, at my job, we have that guy.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you want to do something really nice, like you want a really crystal clear sound, like when you're standing to time the speakers with the speed of sound as it's moving across the room,
so tight.
You call in an expert, and he has a case he rolls in, and he plugs in stuff, and he can see the space between the sounds and stuff, and they fine tune it, and they spend like all day walking around, like, all right, this feels pretty good, and it's amazing, man. I walked in when we almost did a most recent upgrade, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's totally different depending on where you're standing.
Descendants of bats.
Yeah, I work at Exo and it sounds so good now. Oh man, I'm so proud of those guys.
That's
amazing.
good.
Yeah.
I remember I took a sound engineering, I didn't take it, but I popped into a sound engineering class one time at DSA, Denver School of the Arts, shout out if you went there. And there was an audio engineering class where you put on these headphones and you did a kind of like, we all walked around and listened to how different it was, you know, when you're listening very closely. Based on where you were standing in different venues, it was totally different. I couldn't imagine that being your life. Like, I feel like it's very Daredevil. You'd be like tapped into everything, thinking like, oh shit.
You know, the coolest thing now is there's like the mixing board right up on stage, and then there's just an iPad, and it has all the buttons you need on it, and then you can walk around in the audience and fine tune the room, and that's a major upgrade, especially for like small acts, you know, like you can have a guy show up with a stage, like a trailer stage. He shows up, one guy, stage pops up, one guy, he plugs everything in, he's running sound out in the audience, Wi-Fi, like a one-man operation can run like a whole stage at a festival.
That's what happened at the Westford Music Showcase. I mean, the La Rumba stage was one sound tech guy, Eric. He did a great job.
Big up, Eric.
Good job, Eric.
Yeah,
big ups. And the Other Black, if you shout out to Wesley Watkins and the Other Black, they're a great set, but they had like 30 lines, you know. And this guy he had 15 minutes to break down a band and then set up 30
That's
lines.
awesome. Fucking big up, Eric.
Yeah, that's incredible. And then he had no idea, or he had no problem labeling stuff correctly, and yeah, it was great.
So, like, on question to you, that's like I've done some sound engineering, a lot of like little stuff, but DJs always love to creep the music up on you, like. It's like
and
across the
the
board.
time.
It's one of the worst thing for as sound engineer. DJs are like, it could be louder.
Yeah,
it could be louder.
Most of the time, if the monitor isn't like loud enough, then we feel like everything needs to be louder. When it's really like it's fine, we just can't hear it.
Yeah.
So wear headphones.
Yeah, and
that's nice too.
Yeah.
My solution was basically that. Like, I got another speaker for the sound booth, and I turned it up ridiculously loud to where I was not comfortable being in the DJ booth. and then the DJs would be like, "Oh yeah," but then you get out into the room and it's still nice and loud and bumping, but you can kind of talk, But in the DJ booth, it's like. And they wouldn't turn it up. I was like, this is great, finally.
Good.
All you have to do is just shake the pants off them.
Hey, the monitor is a really important part of the sound system. I mean, if you can't hear yourself right. I mean, I was looking at the ecosystem of the stage yesterday, right? That like the guitar and the bass guy always go into the back right where their amps are because they want to stand right in front of their amps, right? Mm-hmm. And the bass guy's got to be able to hear the guitar guy, so he always gets a monitor that's just for the guitar because he needs to. And then the drum guy has his own stuff, but he always goes. So it's a little like ecosystem, It's like watching all the animals go to work in their own natural habitats. It's really beautiful. The vocalists are always at the front with the sound, anyway. Yeah.
I think like like seeing everyone's stage plot would be kind of a cool like coffee table book.
Yeah, do most bands go in with an actual stage plot?
You send that in beforehand. Yeah. That's how you get things done in 15 minutes.
That's fair.
Exactly.
That's why
they know what you're coming in with, what everything is going to look like when it's all set up. If you need a table, it's all like.
That's called the back line.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I've heard that reference before.
Mm-hmm.
This makes sense. Yeah. Indeed. Well, there's lots of cool music in Denver. Who's your two favorite artists right now, Kelsey? Denver
local
artists, yeah.
If I say it's gonna sound like super cocky because I roll with them, like they're my crew, but
they better be your favorite. If
Yasi and Khalil are really. I mean, Sorrells and Yasi.
Yeah,
I guess I should say their artist name, but their music. I got a little, like mushy with Yasi the other day, and sent a text message. I was like, dude, like you have to keep making your music. Like if I didn't know you and I had just heard your music, I would still like cry to it. Like it's moving. She is so good. And she really takes like, like Persian ties, like all of these, like she tries to discover herself in a way where she's, like she's a kid that was brought here by immigrants, like her parents are completely different than your typical American like upbringing because they're not, so she pulls a lot of that experience into her music. It's beautiful to hear what her voice does. If you haven't listened to it, do. And then Khalil. Sorrells is, I love playing his music. I love dancing to his music. I don't get sick of building sets for him. It's so fun. It's, and he's had some heavy shit happen recently. And so he's been putting out music that means something to him, and that's really exciting to see him perform it.
Yeah, definitely.
You can feel it. It's really, really good. I'm proud of both of them, and I think they're doing amazing. But yeah, they're in my sets all the time. So
good.
It's cool. It's cool to have your friend. Like I'm inspired by my friends. Like that's a great thing to say.
Yeah.
Hashtag no simple conversations.
There you go. That's a long hashtag. It's doable though. Yeah, there's lots of tight-knit artist groups of friends here in Denver, aren't there? Mm-hmm.
It can get a little like competitive and cliquey, but there's still. I see the reason for it, you know, because it is. If you've seen like the Get Down, like you kind of have like your kingdom. It's like so like Grandmaster Flash. He has his own clique, but they're still in the same city technically, bigger city. But like you have that like flavor that you guys just really agree on, and it just works out that way, and it's great. Like. There's not any hard feelings. It's just kind of like it can get competitive. Yeah. Because we're all trying to, like.
I think it's okay. I think it's all right that it's competitive and that everyone's got their own unique flavor and brand. You can't mix those anyway. No. That's part of what like the WeAreDenver podcast collective and larger collective is trying to do is showcase all these different flavors because I think it's fine that people are competing. It makes them stronger and better.
Yeah, it pushes the art in a way that, otherwise, I don't know if we would have because there's so much other stuff going on. I mean, there's the only thing that I don't like is there's only so many venues for us to play. I think if there were more spaces open to just like music in general and like trying to bring in more of a variety of artists, we would see a different kind of creative. It's
starting to happen. I mean, things like the giant DCPA and all those other performing venues are starting to lag behind in how they're creating revenue because it's just too hard to bring out people to Wicked every year. You know, or some other, you know. And
that's a huge center, you know, like that's a lot of seats to fill.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. I'm good. Get with it.
Yeah.
You know, on the Denver music and creative scene, I went and saw Wonderbound, and they performed with the Flowbots.
How was that?
At the Arvada Center. It was really good. It was basically kind of like, almost like live music video kind of dance performance. So the Flowbots were like there, like doing a good chunk of their album, I think 8 songs or something. Wow. And then the dance troupe is they're like kind of dancing, and they've got a minor stage and, you know, some lighting effects and stuff. And I wonder where they are in their creative process. I got the feeling it was an initial release, and there weren't any costume changes, or there was nothing really technically advanced about the show, but it was really cool. And it's a really intimate theater, so maybe 150, 200 people or something, it seems like.
Small,
the Arvada Center. It's tiny.
Wow, really?
Yeah, sounded great, looked great. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, I love the Arvada Center. I thought they had a bigger one.
I get that. Well, there's an outdoor amphitheater too, but it's still not even that big. Yeah. But it's got a decent amount of seating and some grass behind it.
Stuff.
Yeah, they're like, I was talking about that too. They're like in the top 3 of like places to go see art as far as that very kind of classic theater aspects. But that whole building's massive. There's a ton of art in the opening galleries. There's 10 or 12 spaces of all kinds.
Yeah, I remember taking classes there when I was a suburbanite kid growing up, so I took classes at like the Arvada Center, that kind of stuff.
I'm jealous of that.
Of the suburban lifestyle?
No, of just like dabbling in art at a younger age. Or like
I got Denver School of the Arts, so I was really lucky.
I know, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, how did you find your way onto your first set of turntables?
It was 1 year ago.
No shit.
Whoa. A little bit longer than that. But I was dating a DJ at the time, and she showed me what was up, and I was like, okay, like I kind of have a knack for it. And then, I don't know, it feels like yesterday, but so much has happened.
You're great at it.
Thank you.
You've been at it for a year.
Thanks, yeah. It's so fun. I don't mind practicing all the time, which helps. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I play in my living room a lot, just because if I'm getting home from work, I'm just like, and we're in. Like, searching for, like, hunting is really fun.
That's what I want to know about digging. Like, how do you dig?
Well, I have to drive to work and then back, and then anytime I'm in my car, it's constantly like I'm shuffling through blogs and SoundCloud profiles, and you know, if there's an artist that I respect or like, I'll see what they're listening to. Apple Music I've been using a little bit lately, and it's not bad. I like that there's not commercials, to be honest with you. That like makes the digging a little bit easier. And then just I like going to the library, to be honest with you. And
yes, the library. Shout out to the library.
We shout out them a lot.
We do.
Apparently for good reason.
They deserve it.
Yeah, because I love the Denver Public Library. It's like our own little Hogwarts.
It is.
Yeah.
Andy Todaro, a couple of podcasts ago, was talking about how they rent comic books. Did you know that?
Yeah, I read graphic. I like graphic novels.
God damn it.
They have a whole section for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
really
wonderful.
Like it there. You can get lost. There's like 5 floors of just.
It's a beautiful building.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's really cool. They have it all.
Yeah, they've got like a pretty big computer section too, and you can like rent a tablet, like you can rent a book. So that's pretty cool.
You know, like GoPros and stuff from there too.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
We have to take this on the road.
Yeah. So you're also playing a set here at Meet in the Street, where WeAreDenver is doing a stage, right?
Yeah.
What day are you playing?
I think is it the 14th?
15th, I think. Yeah, okay. July 15th, I think.
And
or something.
It's a Saturday.
Yeah. Yep. They're all Saturdays.
I'm thinking great. Saturday's obviously my day. Sunday's kind of my sleepy day.
That's okay.
So you'll get me at like 110%.
Where are you at now?
Where am I at?
Percentage-wise?
Oh, probably like -20.
That's pretty low.
Yeah.
Also,
I didn't sleep last night.
In terms of how ratios work, I don't think you can have a negative percentage.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Yeah? Okay. All right. So you need 130% battery gain in order to...
Yeah, and an IV.
And an IV.
That would be awesome right now. I was out in the sun for a long time yesterday.
Oh, yeah, dude. The sun is punishing. Lately in Colorado, talking about, speaking of the weather in small talk, but it's been hot. It's been hot. Like we different kind of hot.
Yeah, we got that. We got the nice end of that though, because we were like 99, 100, but Phoenix was 116.
Yeah, like
California was like 104.
Planes are not gonna fly in this weather. They say.
Is this supposed to be happening? Is this within?
It feels normal to me.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, it's Denver though, so we hit 100. That's normal. It was hot, especially because it's the first time that's happened this year.
I feel like it's very humid for it's hot too.
Well, Colorado has a little bit more moisture in the air. Definitely, I would agree with that. Having grown up here, I remember when I was like, "What is this sensation?" Oh wait, I remember. I was in Dallas once. This is water in the air. That's weird.
It's humidity.
What is this?
Yeah.
And not so many bloody noses. That's nice.
That's true. I haven't gotten a bloody nose in a long time from it just being dry.
I've never had a bloody nose.
Ever in your life?
Ever.
I'm tempted to call you a liar, but I know you're not.
Tempted to hit
it's
your
too
nose.
smart. How about your shirt? I like your shirt.
Yeah, that's how.
This is my arch nemesis. Well, not arch nemesis. He's like my best friend, but this is his shirt, and he got it when he was in Japan, I think.
I like that.
I don't know much
he's
about
your arch nemesis and best friend.
Well, yeah, he's the best, but also the worst for my decision making.
That happens.
Yeah, but he pushes. I DJ with him too.
Mm-hmm.
He goes by Elo. And check him out.
Gotcha.
He's like
yeah.
Dark Sith Lord.
Dark Sith Lord
With really good hair, apparently.
That sounds awesome. Maybe we should bring him on for when we talk about the dark side.
Yeah. We're gonna have
my
a dark
God,
side
yeah.
episode. Yeah.
Oh my God, he got me into Game of Thrones. Good decision.
Yeah,
that was a good. See, that's good.
The new season's coming out soon, right?
Yeah. I have
still
caught
wait
up.
on that book, George.
Yeah.
Stay nimble, George. We need you.
We need you. He got a bunch of new things signed. He's got a couple of pilots of other things coming out that HBO is funding. So,
well, they have a lot of money, so that's cool.
Yeah, and also George R.R. Martin funds Meow Wolf.
Yeah, big up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
And they're coming to Denver.
Yeah, I have to check that out. I was gonna go down, but there's a lot of stuff happening here.
Yeah, Denver's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But they can bring something up here, and then you'd go check it out.
Yeah, and then I'd definitely go check it out.
Definitely. So we're doing lots of stuff on the WeAreDenver podcast, and one of them is to tap you into shows that you can come and see. So, Kelsey, when's your next couple of shows? When can folks come and find you?
Next Thursday, I have a show with Sorrells. We play for R. Loomer. I think that's at Larimer Lounge.
Okay.
And yeah, if you have a chance to see his music, I'm not playing with him for UMS, but he has a band with him, and that's going to be a really cool show too. So shout out to that band, Sorrells. Like, please go see him sometime, even if I'm not playing with him. And then I
love Sorrells.
Yes, he's my precious baby.
I don't know if anybody got a chance to see him, but if you're watching this, you might have seen some Black Actors Guild shows, and he does improv comedy on his looper, or has before. I don't know how long it's been for him, but it's great. He's
hilarious.
Hilarious.
He adds a lot of spice to my life, that's for sure. I never know what I'm going to get, which is awesome.
Yeah. Media is showing him some love, too.
Sorry, media. Yeah, he's been getting attention because he's good. It makes sense. We played Red Rocks for Film on the Rocks, and that was so cool to do that with him. And with Tron and Curtis, our dancers, and then we had Nick, our drummer, and Lawrence, who played bass, and that was a whole different feel too. And it's my favorite venue in the world, so it was an overwhelming feeling. But it was really cool that I got to do that with.
How long did it take you to play Red Rocks? About a year.
Yeah.
About a
It sounds so ridiculous.
Nice work.
It's nuts. And then I have our 16th Street Fiasco. Well, we'll turn into Fiasco when I start playing. And then I'm playing UMS. I don't know what day yet, but that will be an independent set too. That's some of the mix you were hearing earlier.
Nice.
kind of what I'm putting together for that.
And we'll be listening to some of that. I forgot to shout that out. If you were listening right before the podcast started or right after this, in the break, you'll hear a mix from Kelsey Newland.
Yeah.
What is your DJ name again?
I go by Sixxxd.
Sixxxd.
It's Sixxxd.
You can see it on screen for her screen.
Oh, yeah.
Triple Expo down.
Yeah, you already know. It was my apartment number where I learned how to DJ.
Nice.
Only a year ago.
60. Yeah, only 1 year ago. I actually am in a different house now. It feels strange.
Yeah, you're not at 16.
Is there another DJ in the house? Do you guys have like a room, or is it just you?
It is just me in the house right now. I mean, I just ended a relationship, so we're going through the move out process. Which, yeah.
We're sorry. Yeah,
it's okay, happen. But it's I don't know. It's just time for something different. So we'll see what the house turns into. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find a roommate. So if they play music, it'd be even better.
They're gonna have to be okay with you DJing all the time, too, I assume.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we have a garage too, where we go and I'll soundproof eventually.
Yeah. Just need enough egg cartons.
Yeah.
You can make it happen.
I ate a lot of eggs. So make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of food do you eat? Are you a carnivore? Are you vegetarian?
I have some weird stuff going on with my guts.
Your stomachs?
Yeah.
That's important.
So I don't really eat meat. Sometimes I'll eat fish. But it's not very often.
Have you ever seen like a holistic practitioner of any kind?
I have.
What have you given a shot?
Why don't I give them a shout
out? No, what have you given a shot?
I was like, I don't really
Tell us about
remember.
the advice and any attempts you made to follow it.
I just think that like diet plans per se are completely bogus.
Totally.
Like paleo diet, unless you're like you have a serious gluten allergy, eating gluten-free, I don't know if like cutting everything out of your diet necessarily works in the way that you want it to.
Of course
it's more just, like making sure that you're supplementing when you eat shit. So like if you're eating a bag of Ruffles, like go grab a piece of fucking broccoli, you know, and you'll feel better. It's really simple.
I don't think it's that much farther than that, yeah.
Yeah.
I also think it's funny that like diet as a word has been so abstracted. So it's like a thing you do, not your whole habit of eating.
Yeah.
Right? You have a diet. You don't go on a diet.
I have a garden that my friend's garden.
Gardening is good.
And that's changed my perspective on food a lot. Even just like having my hands and like watching something grow and being so proud of it. Like, So that's been really cool. But we don't do that anymore either. Like everything's so fast. I think if we had we were more involved in the meal process, we wouldn't be so off.
You're preaching to the choir here. Yeah, we agree with you. I think that also it makes people soft is what I was going to say. I don't know if that's the right word, but people are really removed from death.
Yeah.
And gardening connects you to the cycle of life.
Oh, yeah.
In a way that most people are not these days connected.
It's kind of ignored buttoned, and it's like, no, like
ignore
everyone
button.
dies.
Swipe left. Or, is that right? I don't know.
You don't Tinder?
I don't. I never. Which one would be left and right for my future referencing?
I think it's to the left is absolute no for me.
Really?
To the left.
There's a lot of lefts. To the left. There's a lot of lefting.
Yeah. To the left. To the left.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We can make a dance anthem.
I don't think I could ever do a Tinder or an
It's weird
thing.
It is weird.
Yeah. That feels. You know what that really feels to me? The right word for that is occult. Is that weird? That's how it feels. It feels like demonic.
Well, there's the same type of a lot of the same type of person. I feel like.
It's kind of a recycled fast food culture of dating in regard. So like it's the McDonald's of dating. I guess I could get the satanic out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, in a way, it's like not stifle. I get a little stifling, but I think it comes from it's a stifled environment. You know. So like it's impossible to get a complete picture of anything in that situation, and the fact that people are like trying so hard in that situation.
Yeah, I think one of the things that bothers me about it is it's antithetical to itself. Like, I think that if anyone is looking for someone for any reason, then they're looking for them to fill something they don't have.
Sure.
Right? So wanting something is also lacking it.
Right.
Yes. And this is very important as a spiritual principle to me because I don't want someone who wants me because that means they don't have me. And if I'm right there and they still want me, that's not very good.
I completely agree. And this has been a big theme, I feel like, in I don't know, like kind of the people around me and like the growing process. Like, I feel like that's kind of the next stage. Like, we now know who we are, but do we really love ourselves?
Yeah.
Is there self-love there? Because then you don't look. It comes to you that easy because you know what you are. You know who you are. And hopefully you can find someone in that respect that like reflects that.
Yeah, who also loves themselves.
Yeah.
And then can be with someone else who loves themselves, not thinking that person creates love for them.
It's the best type of relationship.
Yep.
It's fun.
Yes, it is definitely the best type of relationship. And it's not just romantic or sexual, right?
Yep.
Like any relationship can be reciprocal in that way.
Because then it's not needy. Like you just feed each other in different ways. So yeah, I'm all about that. Just kind of a deeper connection or kind of, okay, let's see you next time.
Yeah, that's rough for me. I've never bitten into that. I wonder how much of it has to do with like sexualized images on the internet and media generally, like sort of debasing sex as something that's not about connection, something like that.
What is that movie where they're like, you can't just be friends? Was it When Harry Met Sally or something?
I don't know.
They're like, you can't just be friends with like the opposite sex. That's not how it works. Either they want something or whoever you're attracted to. Like, but it's not like that doesn't work. You can't just be friends with someone like that. And that's interesting too, because I feel like you can be. Yeah.
So let's say there's a scenario where you're attracted to someone and they're not attracted to you in that way. You can still be friends. That can be totally.
Well, I'm extremely honest. So if they can deal with that truth, then yeah, we're good.
Look, I agree. Right on.
Honestly.
Yeah, I'm like, I just try and be unimposing, but I'm not going to be. I'm upfront about the like. I'm totally down, but if that's not happening, that's fine. I've definitely had some situations with people I was like, this isn't happening. I'm cool with you hanging out. Like, you're a cool person. Like, we can be friends. But they still had that very much like, I could feel them wanting me, as you said. And I was like, stop wanting me like that. I mean, it's okay that you want me, but stop like reminding me all the time, because I don't mind being reminded, but I'm looking at this person and thinking, they're like, I want this thing. I'm like, but you're not going to get it.
Yeah, well then you're not going to
get it.
Dodging stuff. That's not fun.
You also can't give it to them. What they're looking for, you are not the remedy to. Yeah, it's within them. The love exists inside yourself, man. Yeah, it's so important.
I want to hear like anecdotal, like maybe like something along these lines, like the one that got away or something. Like, tell me a fun love story. Throw an X at us, or a misconnection.
Oh my god, I wish I had a Craigslist misconnection. That would be. I like read those sometimes with my sister. We're pretty weird. My sister is super bizarre. She's like really into Reddit too, so
nice.
Yeah, like misconnections would be hilarious. I will make that happen for you guys.
Craigslist and Reddit will give you sides of the internet that you may or may not want to know about.
Oh yeah. Man, I feel like there's a lot of just people I've run into, like traveling and that kind of stuff, where like we have like a really deep connection, but obviously you can't go anywhere, which that's a bummer. And it's just like, okay, this is why it's here, because we're having a good time right now, and that's like as far as it's ever gonna go. So I feel like that can be heartbreaking. Like,
I've never had that. That sounds sad.
Have you ever traveled by yourself?
Only a couple times.
Yeah, I've been out of the country by myself.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Oh, yeah. It's like, if you are female and you can do it. Like, you will feel so different about... I just feel like, especially females, because you're put in this place where you can only be something.
Right.
Where it's like, it's not dangerous, okay, if you're not stupid.
Yeah.
It's you pick a place where you know that you're going to be able to get along, okay, where you're going to have enough money... And you go and do it, and that's a great way to fall in love with yourself, too. Yeah. Like, I had a great love affair with myself in Costa Rica. And that was a beautiful experience. Really difficult, and I was, like, laughing at myself all the time. So I guess I'm talking about how I fell in love with myself. There's your love story. That's a great love story.
Remember Akiela was talking about how she married herself?
Did she?
Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 years strong now. So
I'm glad.
She was talking about renewing her vows.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did she have a ceremony? Like, were people invited?
I'm not sure. I wasn't invited to I don't know if I knew her when she first married herself.
This could be like a really cool thing with like a golden mirror, and like you just like read vows to yourself, and then the mirror comes alive and swallows you.
Wow.
She went there.
Well, that escalated quickly.
When you said you and your sister were weird, I wasn't sure you were being honest.
Oh my God. I have Star Wars shoes on. Come on. My mind is always somewhere
That's
else.
unfortunately not weird anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's okay to be nerd.
Take it back.
It's good, generally. I mean, it means you're creative and unique and you don't care what people think about you.
I don't.
Good.
It can be a bad thing, too.
Why do you think it's a bad thing?
I would say more for, like, business connections now.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people I just don't fuck with because I think they're shady. And...
That's
Rule
good, though.
number 4080 is record companies are shady.
It's important to remember that, like, you matter.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do things the way that anyone else wants you to.
No.
Denver's a small city, though. So it's like, I'm creating a game for myself by being honest, but I like it because I feel like
Yeah, I think
here
being
for the long
honest
haul.
is a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting. Especially when you have
hard.
to keep secrets.
The most important thing whenever I've come to like honest ends with somebody else, whenever there's like shade or something goes wrong or like a piece of technical equipment went missing at a party that
happened like last night.
There you go. Yeah. So stuff like that can create drama, right?
Yeah.
The most important thing is to sit down and have that conversation.
Yeah.
Like if you don't lance that boil right away,
Disgusting way to put it, but
it's
I
true.
agree,
You need
it is
to,
disgusting,
and it hurts. You need to sit down and be like, all right, clearly both of us fucked up because something's missing, and like we need to figure this out. And it's not. Let's not blame each other for a second. Let's just talk about what happened on your end, what happened on my end.
Yeah.
We both care enough, and it's only difficult to get together.
Yeah.
That the conversation shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah.
There should be a conversation, not just like a.
But most situations that I've seen, especially between artists, just saying, is that kind of situation. Just the boil never got lanced.
Yeah.
You know, they did, especially at the beginning. You got to get it right at the beginning.
Yeah,
right
jump
as
on it.
Happens. Yeah.
I agree.
I got a great story on that, actually.
Tell us.
Last year at Elsewin's, little weekend
What is that?
camping party.
Elsewin's?
Elsewin's. It's kind of a burner thing. A bunch of people show up with their little camper trailers, super cute. They have like temporary yards and little white picket fences and like crazy lights. Like seriously, like
That's cute.
The lights go, or the sun sets and all the lights come on, and it suddenly just turns into this kind of like creepy suburban neighborhood feel, but it's camper trailers.
Oh, that's great.
and you're like, this would be creepy if it was actually suburbia, but I'm in the middle of the mountains, and these are just camper trailers, and this is like temporary. It took like 1 hour to set up for everybody, and there's so much neat knick-knacky stuff. Anyway, we had the party, and then the decks went missing on teardown, and so this giant kind of social media effort went up immediately, and they immediately set up a GoFundMe to replace them. I think they had like $2,500 in a matter of like 3 days, and like 7 or 8 people all posted in all of that like community forums, of which there are like 5 or 6 encompassing like well over like 5,000-6,000 people in Denver. And we're like, hey, we don't care that they're gone. Shit happens. Just bring them back. And like my trunk, I'm at work all day. My car is parked right here. The trunk is open. Just put them in there and close the trunk. And 5 or 6 people all said that, and they showed up within like 3 days. Someone just stuffed them back in the trunk.
Really?
So they raised the money to replace them, and they came back in a matter of like 4 days. It was awesome.
Sometimes I wonder about that. Like, are you going to use my table at a party? What are you going to do?
Free
with
rent?
it?
Sell it.
Yeah, like
gotta try and be sell. I imagine most people who steal stuff want to sell it for money
well.
because they've got
Bad for
other
you. 'Cause
habits.
that's annoying. So
Bad
let's
for
work
you.
hard for that.
And money is made up. You don't need to
Yeah.
steal a real thing for a made up thing.
Yeah,
That's a bad
just
trade.
learn how to make it if you want it so bad.
I mean, but also know most of the time, not to profile, but this is generally true, that most people are drinking or doing drugs and are addicted
Sure.
in some cycle of addiction. I mean, there are people who steal to retail shop. You know, there are people who
So-
steal to invest in banks.
Really, we're still looking at the man.
There are
being
people
the
who steal
issue.
banks.
To invest in other banks.
Actually, most of our big banks were stolen.
Yep.
Like the charter for the Federal Reserve was funded with public money. Not a single dollar was invested by like an investor. What do you normally think of investment?
Yeah, that's very weird.
Yeah, because it's privately owned, so we paid for it, but they get to keep it.
Who decides who gets to keep it if the public buys it?
Yeah.
Wait, it's not for sale though.
Well, who owns it? If it's private, then someone owns it, right?
Yeah, it's a board of governors kind of thing. It's a corporation with shareholders.
Some guys that
It's
wear
a corporation.
khakis decide.
The corporation thing really trips me out because it really means you're legally your own body. Yeah. Yeah, your own entity. That's what corporate means. Corporeal.
Right.
Of
So it's
the
a birth
body.
certificate.
Speaking of that, how are you organized as a DJ income? Are you just running everything under your name, or have you created a little business and employ
it's
yourself?
just
Or
under my name for right now. I mean, I also have like a full-time job. So
Where you work?
I have a family business. Me, my sister, and my brother run now. My mom
That's
started.
awesome.
But we have a day program for adults with developmental disabilities.
Wow.
And I do program development management and come up with like goal plans for people. I send people on outings. So our Vada Center I'm very familiar with. They're great to our business and our company.
Yeah.
It's called New Day.
That's super awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. It's really fun.
Big ups
I
to your
that.
mom. for
Yeah,
starting.
she works really hard
Yeah.
at that. But
How'd she get into that kind of work?
she was a social worker at first and had some issues with the system, and so she was just like, all right, well, I
Yeah.
feel like this is a huge gap, and I remember like stories from social work, even in Denver, like there's some crazy shit. I think it's better now on the surface, but then there's still things like a whole bunch of kids getting shuffled around at the stock show, you know? So it's not like it's not there anymore. It's just kind of, it's being better hidden.
I think also more people are stepping up like your mother who are saying, all right, system's not doing it, I'm doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's cool to see what she built and the impact. I mean, I've had some clients with me for, like, I've grown up with them.
Yeah.
You know, so that's been really special too.
Yeah.
They are, like, my clients are some of the most in tune and friendly. You know, they're just wonderful people.
Yeah.
And they just want to be loved too. And I think that I do a pretty good job at that. Like, I provide them a space to feel comfortable.
I bet you do.
Yeah. And I talk to them like I would talk to anybody else, like my friends.
Right.
So, yeah, I really enjoy doing that. It keeps me in check, for sure.
Yeah, I read a story the other night about a girl who was disabled, differently abled, and they thought, like, was on a breathing machine and all this other, like, really crippling body stuff for the first, like, 11 or 12 years of her life, and then was, couldn't speak and was, like, doing crazy stuff, would have, like, violent tantrums and things like that. And they never gave her a keyboard, but they always tried to get her to write, and she was never able to do it. But they finally got her a keyboard, and turns out she's got an IQ of like 160, right? And writes books, so that you can go. We should have like a link here, but it's not.
Yeah.
Of this chick and all these other people, and you must think like that could be a genius trapped in a form that operates differently than we're used to, different limitations.
There are a few of my clients that are literally frozen in time, but I mean, something like cerebral palsy can be like progressive, like you can get more atrophied and almost, you know, just like it hurts too. So I feel for them on that. It just seems like a really long meditation to me. Like especially when your IQ or your mental acuity is pretty much typical or like, you know, with everybody else, but you're frozen in time. So you still want like all of these things. Like you still want a family. You want to have like love in an intimate way. And you want to, you know, like have something of your own, but people take care of you your entire life. So it's an interesting, it's an interesting check of mine every day.
It's definitely an ego check.
Oh, yeah.
It's more than an ego check. It's like an ego shove.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I thank my mom for that, too. Like, growing up in that environment was challenging, but it really opened. I mean, I love everybody, regardless of... Yeah,
people that decide to be social workers and teachers and things like that, those people are angels and saints. They really are.
They deserve a lot more.
Yeah.
Not only monetarily, but they deserve to be taken care of a little bit more.
They're respected, and everybody does. I mean, we've got plenty of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that Sampson talks about on his podcast is how we've got plenty of resources. The scarcity thing is sort of a myth. Well, we just don't share it properly.
Yeah.
But there's tons of stuff and tons of ways for us to be a community, and share. It's starting to happen. Your mom starting that and doing it all herself is an example. The Grow House is an example.
Yeah.
The fact that you're the fourth guest we've had on here who says they're a gardener, that's an example.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's some shit.
I like that though. I like that people are starting to like get with it.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't grow your own food, you might be shit out of luck
Especially
pretty
in the
soon
next little
here.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We could sooner
like-
than later.
How long do you think, Samson? Give us a how many
I'm expecting a
Years.
hiccup in October.
this October?
Yep.
God damn it.
What
that's
kind
soon.
of hiccup?
Like a mass transformation of the U.S. society.
Yeah.
October?
Yeah.
At least summer will be over.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, but everyone will be boiling. Their blood will be boiling because it's hot.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Why
interesting.
October?
I'm spacing that off. I follow Cliff High in the Webbot, and he tracks dialogue online and like ascending and descending trends of emotions used. And he's basically like, there's plenty of evidence to suggest that the human being population is psychic, and especially on a collective level, it's amplified.
Right.
So we have literally billions of people running around on the planet, and they have like a tiny little bit of psychic ability because they have not cultivated that in themselves. But the accumulation of tiny psychic adds up to like a really big psychic
So
force.
essentially
And so,
however everyone's
there's
feeling.
truth leaking out in people's
Yeah.
like people are typing something and they don't realize that they've typed something that has like this connection from something else.
Sure.
But there's like this magic background to the way, and he's like looking for patterns and things, and he makes predictions on, but he just gets stuff like, oh, I'm getting an increase in the use of this word, and the word, all of the use of that word is attached to these emotional words. And
Interesting.
but anyway, he's had very good luck like predicting lots of financial stuff, and like he predicted 9/11, he predicted the stock market
check him
crash. And
What's
he's
it
a
called
really
again?
interesting old guy. It's Cliff High, one
Cliff
F,
High,
and
right.
he's the Webbot. It's halfpasthuman.com. And he's like an old programmer. He's like a really smart guy. He's like in his 70s. He's like 75 or something. So it's really interesting to hear kind of like an old timer, but he's like on it.
But he can use a computer. What an interesting divide.
Hey, there are people who've been in the computer
That's
industry.
what I mean.
since
That's
they
what I
were-
mean. There's such a wide variety of
Yep.
75-year-olds with technology
Yeah,
right
there
now.
are. There are people
He's
who are-
leading the way.
Yeah.
Good, but that's cool.
I wanted to ask, we've mentioned your mom a couple times. Like, what is her thing with your DJing? Did that kind of catch her off guard? She's like, oh, this is a phase or whatever.
There's a lot of things that I do that catch my parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I think I keep them on my toes. She she didn't like that I traveled alone. You know, it was just something I was like, Mom, I'm going to do this, like, whether you like it or not. So I think music was just kind of like, okay, well. I played soccer growing up. So I was always
Football.
like, oh yeah.
Football.
I loved it. And then I got sick because my guts are flimsy.
I'm
Flimsy
sorry.
guts.
I like that phrase.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
It's all dietary.
This is my
you
friend.
think?
She got flimsy guts.
Yeah, I got flimsy guts over here.
Proper
No.
nutrition is so important. you know.
Allergies.
Allergies.
I wasn't aware until a few years ago that I'm allergic to like every tree, grass, weed, pollen, mold, dander, like everything in Denver. And so I'm playing an outdoor sport, and it's like it doesn't go well together when I'm pushing my body for 120 minutes. And yeah, so I had to change it up, and music fit the bill. Like, it was such an easy transition. I think that's really why it's been such an easy transition, because I really like working in a team environment when everyone's really, like, in it.
You think you transmuted your soccer energy into your DJ energy?
Absolutely.
That's tight as fuck.
Because I have to do something with it.
Wait,
Yeah.
You want to go out back and kick some beats around?
Kick some beats around.
Yeah.
Kick some baits.
Oh, inside.
You're like, wicka, wicka, tsh, and you're like, go.
Yeah, go.
Or you could pass the DJing stick. Yeah, that'd be tight.
Yeah. I've actually thought about doing that in a different way. Yeah, I kind of want to, like, build a stage setup where, like, you can, like, move tables
Oh, that'd be
around.
cool. Puzzle piece table set.
Yeah.
Dope.
So you have, like, one thing playing, you kind of, like, send it.
You could do it with like one big turntable with a bunch of turntables.
That's what I was
on it,
gonna
and the whole
say.
thing could spin and you could
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Uh-huh.
it's
So moving while you're
a
moving.
platter
meta
of
turntable.
Yeah.
turntables.
It's like a big looper.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That reminds me of man, what was that? trying to remember. It was some like a DJ conference, or it might have even been kind of like the World Series. I forget there's a DJ
best
World
of the best.
Series.
That's me. I've been in this game for a year, man.
Anyway,
there's
it was
something, yeah.
Yeah, and they had kind of like a workshop conference or whatever, but it was 15 of the best DJs in pretty much the world, each with 2 tables, and it was just like a slow camera pan as they moved the beat around the room.
Shit.
That's tight.
And Qbert was in there, and DJ Shadow, and like old school dudes. And I was just like, I was just bopping along, like, this is incredible. These guys are amazing. Yeah, I'll drag that video up.
Please do.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. I like stuff like that.
Wow, the internet is a beautiful place.
Talk about being connected, like just minor psychic stuff. That's music will do that. I mean, I feel
because it's frequency.
Yep.
Frequency is what we call psychic stuff. Our brains put out waves. We call them brain waves. There are 4 different kinds. So.
And actually, our largest field is our heart field.
Yes.
In terms of. I'm just kidding.
She grew up working with disabled people. She's like, I have a tiny heart.
Right, yeah, there's no way that's true.
I have no empathy.
I've heard around town I'm mean, but it's just because I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't think you're mean at all.
Thanks.
I
appreciate
think
that.
your honesty may seem like meanness to those to whom your honesty may not benefit.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's mean.
On the money. Yeah.
It just means...
And it's fine. We don't have to be,
Yeah, it's better. I would say that's good. The thing I like about honesty is if 2 people are honest and there isn't resonance, I don't think they should be working together or being together or whatever.
Yeah.
Dissonance is an important part of music,
If it don't fit, don't force it.
That's right. Please
Also,
don't.
but that one moment, where it's like, like there's that tension that's really important to whether or not it just gets totally fucked up or resolves into this beautiful place.
Yeah.
So you need the tension. It's just like, are you going to resolve it or,
What you going to do about it?
perpetuate it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting, I don't know, I feel like another thing going out of the country to see how people, move in a street differently. When I was in Asia.
Yeah, where all did you travel to?
I went to Cebu in the Philippines and played +63 festival there, which was awesome. That was like an amazing experience. And then I went up to Thailand and some wild shit up there. Actually, the whole thing was wild. Cebu was great. The Philippines are wonderful. I really like it. I'm not going to say anything about Duarte because someone might be watching me. But
okay.
I don't think it's as bold or like in your face, like politically there as people assume.
Yeah.
It's pretty chill. They just go about their business.
The Philippines?
Wearing rubber flip-flops.
Oh, yeah. That seems to be a very interesting situation in the background.
Oh.
Duarte's an interesting dude.
Yeah.
But that's deep state stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're into the boot. Like, most of the world's gold is registered in the Philippines. Like, the benevolent gold that's being held in accounts waiting for the Federal Reserve to get out of the way, essentially. That's the story, anyway. And so Duarte has recently had the leash taken off politically, so like he can talk shit in the media, and so of course the United States is being like, this motherfucking crazy guy, but you like read in the background, you're like, this is an interesting situation.
Yeah. It's interesting to see who supports his idea and who doesn't. I mean, there's a huge split. Like, there's money and then there's no money.
Yeah, and it's very obvious.
It's literally next door. Like the article I posted today about the like the tiny house in between two of them. Yeah, the same type of feel. Like, you're in multi-million-dollar condos and there's literally like a shack outside of the door. And there's dogs everywhere. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's a jungle. Don't get me wrong. But it's interesting to see how people flow every day, day in and day out. Like saying the traffic's crazy, but it works.
Yeah,
that's where my head went to. You said with the flow, and I was like, oh yeah, and like no real traffic lights and stuff. People just getting it done.
Oh, there's people. I remember it was pouring rain. There was 3 people on the back of a motorbike, like a dirt bike, with a mattress, but like in the rain, trying to get this mattress like back home. It was the craziest thing. Because when it rains there, it's like this much water, on the street. It's not like it floods.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't rainy season. It still rained hard, but people, you just keep trucking. I don't feel like that happens here. They're like, oh.
We got it pretty easy. The big thing about Colorado, the dryness, like if your mattress got soaked on the drive, on the move, because you've strapped it to the top of your minivan, you get home, like a mattress can hold a lot of water, so it might take a couple of days.
Yeah.
But the Philippines, that might never dry out.
It's probably wet to begin with.
Yeah, you're growing all kinds of stuff in there.
Adding wet to wet.
That's the thing about those humid places. Like I'm from Hawaii. You get out of the shower and you feel like you're still. You can't dry yourself off.
I like that. It's good for my hair.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, my hair gets really curly. I haven't had my long hair down in Hawaii yet, so I don't know what it would be like.
I turn into a jungle queen, so I'm sure you...
Yeah.
Jungle queen.
Yeah, my hair gets so... Well, it's big right now. It's like...
It looks good. I like the bun you've got.
Being.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's okay right now. It's a little dry from being out yesterday.
Yep, all that sun.
Shaking it around.
Well, talking about disparity and the post that you posted, there is some gentrification happening in Denver. That's a big word right now.
Absolutely.
You mentioned something that I thought was a good observation, though. It's sort of becoming a sort of posh and popular to talk about gentrification, isn't it?
Yeah. It's... I feel like it's way more of a buzzword than something that people are going to do anything about. They're like, oh, what a shame. But, like, you don't realize that when you take away local businesses and places for, like, old heads, is what I would say. Like, 5 Point old heads have been there.
Yeah.
They're being pushed out. Okay, well, if you take away that little piece of something... You're losing why you moved or why you want people to move there in the first place.
The whole culture and the interest and the uniqueness.
Exactly. So then it just turns into a can of sardines, and I cannot stand it.
It's pretty boring.
Yeah, and I have to pay like $12 for pizza, a slice of pizza, where it's just like, no, I don't care if it says artisan before it.
Yeah.
It's a piece of bread with sauce and cheese on top. So...
Yeah.
It's interesting to see that.
There was a big lawsuit that was going to be put together for Joe's Liquors. You guys see that?
Yeah.
No, what's up with that?
It's like one of the last minority-owned businesses on the block in Larimer.
Yeah, and they were getting into a...
Oh, the white building with the black trim, and they were talking about the homeless people out front.
Yeah,
and how they...
That did cross my desk.
Yeah. If you go into that market thing, which is posh and nice, like it is... Clearly, the new age of get the camera on Kelsey's face so she can make that face properly. Yeah, this is a real conflict in Denver right now. There is this new movement of like fresh, pretty, accentuant, like cultural things, and then
Globeville.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Globeville's next on the hit list.
Well, Globeville, I was reading something
Anything
where it's not
here
actually
Stapleton.
in Denver County, so they don't have any benefit from tax money or anything else. You just basically here's all of our dog food pollution and all the bullshit that comes off of the highway, and you're gonna get no support for. I think that's so bizarre.
Yep, it's lame.
And so I don't
and then beyond that is the
solar, energy guys. Those big smokestacks are over there as well.
I can't believe I can't remember the name of the
Suncor.
Well, yeah, but they're all in that name of part of Denver that smells like asphalt all the time. I can't believe I can't remember it, but that's the Colorado River runs around downtown and then from south to north and then heads out right around Globeville, and just past Globeville is that big industrial center, and that is the most polluted portion of that river.
And they got caught like half a year ago, totally violating all of their standards.
Yeah, I have a buddy who's a big fisherman on that river, and he's part of the coalition of people who try and keep track of that
That's
stuff.
good.
And you don't really hear about it, but it's not a good situation.
There's tons of weird environmental shit happening here in our state.
There have been.
Rocky Flats.
The 90s, we were in trouble for that. And I don't feel like it's gotten that much better.
No, it's gotten worse.
The most polluted zip code in Colorado is the left side of Washington, or like the west side of Washington, past, what would it be, like between 58th and 40th, basically. And they just buried it under like 4 feet of dirt and built the giant like industrial kind of like pop-up town thing.
Yep. And people live there and get cancer. Same thing with their dogs. There are people who won a lawsuit against Rocky Flats because their dogs got cancer from walking in Westminster Dog Park, which is too close to the radioactive. They had Geiger counter proof. That's terrible.
They also have no grocery stores. Can we talk about how there's no
Food
grocery
desert.
stores?
#food desert.
Yeah, nothing. But there's Central Market right down the block with all of the cheese and fucking smoked salmon you could ever want.
I will say that Natural Grocers is opening up on the corner of...
That's extremely expensive.
I know, but that's me. I'm single.
Yeah,
I got a decent job. I don't have anybody to feed but myself, and it's walking distance to my house, so like my whole life changes like in a week.
That's awesome.
So I apologize for being the guy who's gentrifying this place, but oh man,
it tastes
so
good.
But that's one thing with Central Market too.
No, that's the thing about gentrification. Is like it looks pretty.
Yeah,
I guess, but people don't understand why it becomes hollow. But that's more to talk about. Let's have you on again and talk about gentrification sometime.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would love to.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the We Are Denver podcast. You've been listening to Illfoominati. We've got Kelsey Newland here. Kelsey, say goodbye to the good folks.
Goodbye, good folks. It's been so fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, they can check you out this Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Where?
Come by to the R. Loomer show. It's at Lost Lake. No. Larimer Lounge.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Sampson is here with us as always. Stick around for his podcast. What's it called?
Nothing Explained.
Listen to him explain nothing on the We Are Denver podcast. This is Illfoominati. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
And what are we listening to right now? You recognize this?
Yeah, this is my mix right here.
Listen to the Kelsey Newland mix.
Tune in.
Your DJ name one more time for us.
Sixxxd.
Sixxxd. Check it out.
Come party.
I don't pop Molly, I rock microphones. Pointed at your girl, watch your ass sing along.
Talk shit with the prettiest lips. Blow a kiss, kick a hole in your speaker and then split. And then split. And then split. And then split. And then split.